I'm delighted that the 13th National Convention, WoW 2013, is being held in Bangalore this time. And I would like to extend my warmest welcome to every one of the delegates attending this convention. I'm also pleased to hear that the Secretary and Administrative Professional of the Year award is also being announced at this convention, and I would like to congratulate all the nominees who have made it to the finals. And of course, may the best secretary win. I would like to just basically give my message to all of you today to say that secretaries, I believe, are the true unsung heroes of the corporate world. Secretaries have such an enabling role to play because they are the ones who enable their bosses to perform better, to be more efficient managers, to actually deliver productive results. And if you have a good secretary, you can actually excel in everything that you do. To me, secretaries are the brand ambassadors of their bosses because they are the ones who make the first impression on anyone visiting the organization or dealing with the organization. So I would like to salute every one of you who's enabling corporate India to perform efficiently, to perform productively, and to make a mark in what they're doing. So remember, you are the ones who are actually enabling corporate India to deliver better results. All the best.
Hello everyone. I understand from Indu that secretaries and admin professionals from all over India have gathered in Bangalore. The role of an assistant has transformed in today's context, and businesses are becoming increasingly specialized. It is imperative that you are aware of the dynamics of the business and its environment. You should be seen as a role model, projecting the value and culture of the organization. Do your best, learn continuously, and excellence should become a habit. Wish you all the best.
Well, I'd like to welcome the delegates to Bangalore. Bangalore is India's only global city. It has a world-class IT industry. It has a world-class technology industry in aerospace, in space research, in defense electronics, in high-quality machine tools and intelligent working. And it has a great medical industry too. Overall, Bangalore is a middle-class town with a high proportion of its employees in the IT industry. And about maybe 1 million people work in the IT industry, and they are globally linked. So you'll find a very different culture in Bangalore. Is open, collegial, friendly to the outsider, and very diverse in respect of its people. So I hope you'll enjoy Bangalore and hope that you'll have a great time. Well, I think an EA is a force multiplier for the people they work for because they obviously increase the productivity of senior people in every corporation. They are the confidants, they handle many sensitive issues, they are the people who make sure that things are done so that their bosses can concentrate on those issues which require their attention, and they also create a very good working condition in the offices because today in a competitive globalized economy you need to be very, very productive, and to be productive you need to have the right frame of mind where many things around you are taken care of so you can concentrate on the work. And I think EAs do a fantastic job. EAs by their very nature have a overall exposure to the firm, and they have a what you call an enterprise view. Having an enterprise view implies that they know how the entire business works, and they also know how the various components in the business works. So I think EAs will make EAs will make a very good resource base for senior HR people when they finally graduate to that level. They'll also make a very good resource base for business, because in various business divisions, obviously they will understand the way the business is run. But they also need to undergo certain courses, undergo training, get the domain expertise, and get beyond the EA role in case they want to have an alternate career. I do hope many of the EAs will have alternate careers, because it is a fantastic way to learn how every business enterprise works.
Welcome to the 13th National Convention of Secretaries and Administrative Professionals. We have a serious problem in our hand. Our problem is that a day has only 24 hours. And in 24 hours, we need to sleep at least for 4 to 6 hours. Then you are hardly left with 16 to 18 hours. And so much has to be done. How do we take the benefit of 16 or 18 hours every day? How do we allot our time? How do we get best out of the 16 hours we have? This can only happen if we have very competent secretaries around. Believe me, otherwise it's not possible. Added to that, today senior executives have to travel. And when we travel, work doesn't stop. A lot of the time, the work goes on in the car before the flight takes off, and in the plane, and as soon as we land, the first thing we do is to call the secretary about who do we have to meet and what is the agenda. And a lot of the time, we catch the flight without even knowing who we are going to meet. Someone has to organize all our schedules, and this is done by a very important person of our life other than our wife or spouse, is a secretary. You are doing a great job, keep it up, and I wish you good luck.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to note that the Indian Association of Secretaries and Administrative Professionals is holding its 13th National Convention in Bangalore. The National Flight Test Center is located in your host city, and on its behalf, I welcome you to Bangalore. While I wish the convention great success, I also wish to thank the organizers for inviting me to briefly share my thoughts. Irrespective of the field of activity that your individual organizations are engaged in, it is and will always be an irrefutable fact that sound administration remains the bedrock on which any organization thrives. Secretarial support is indispensable to any executive who is always shuttling from one engagement to another. You may not be very visible, but nobody can function efficiently without you. This also puts great responsibility on your shoulders. While the traditional tasks that you perform will continue to remain important, it is important that you constantly upgrade your skills also. While the skills that one develops must include efficient use of modern office and communication equipment, it must also be the development of soft skills. After all, every one of us is a service provider at some level or the other. The fact that one has provided good service should be a source of great satisfaction to oneself. Lastly, a word on security. In July this year, some Russian government agencies bought hundreds of typewriters. This, President Putin thought, was the only way to ensure security of information. Your ability to protect confidential information in this digital era could be fundamental to protecting your organization. I wish you all great satisfaction in your careers.
Hello everyone. I'm glad to hear that the participants for this convention has come from all over India. The role of boss and executive assistants are symbiotic, and success lies in teamwork and winning partnerships. Hard work and perseverance are the key to success. Wishing all the participants present in this convention all the very best.
I'm happy to welcome the delegates of WoW, Women of Wisdom, to this national convention in Bangalore. When they said behind every successful man is an efficient woman, we assume that they were talking about the wife. But actually, they were talking about the secretary. The secretary is all those people rolled into one and increases the boss's efficiency manyfold. This is a significant convention. I am sure all of you will go back to your workplaces with many new ideas, immensely enriched rejuvenated, and looking for skills to work on in the days, months, and years to come. I'm sure you will have a fabulous time in Bangalore. I wish the convention all success.
Hello, I'm Wim Elfrink, Executive Vice President Cisco Systems, Chief Globalization Officer, and I want to welcome you at this conference.
I'm Anil Menon. I'm the Deputy Chief Globalization Officer for Cisco, and I also would like to welcome you all to Bangalore.
So it's going to be an intensive conference at Women of Wisdom, or it will be a big wow effect, I hope. Both Anil and I, we are blessed with excellent executive assistants. And I say executive assistants because it means so much for us, that their influence in our effectiveness and output is enormous. I like to think in business partners. I really like to think in, of course, all the capabilities, the skills, the environment, the trust. That's the minimum. What I really think makes a difference between something good and somebody great in that job is also empathy. Do we really understand what we go through every day, Anil and I, that what is important. I'm of course the most easy guy to work with, but when I'm jet lagged, let me not do a conference call. Give me some rest. Empathy, being able to look through my eyes, how we travel through the world. What do you think, Anil?
I totally agree with you. The only thing I would add to the soft skill point that you make, aside from empathy, understanding how and what we need to do is judgment. Because you have a lot of things on your plate. People are constantly trying to find time with you. Same challenge for me with all the travels. Using the judgment to know what to prioritize, what not to prioritize, how to use our time. So I see them, my executive assistant does a great job by telling and managing for me, making decisions sometimes, knowing what I would say to a particular request, handling it for me so it doesn't come to my plate. I think the judgment, empathy together forms that partnership and the chemistry that goes with it.
Yeah, that last point, what Anil said, chemistry, I think is extremely important. So some combinations work, some combinations don't work. Is there that appreciation? Does my executive assistant also understand my private life? My two boys in their adolescence age, what that means? That sometimes when I'm not ready, it's also what you give and what you take. And I think that I spend a lot of time with my executive assistant that just talking about normal things in life, that we understand each other better. And so if your boss doesn't do that, ask him for it. That open up and make sure that you understand each other and that chemistry is always there.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I have two girls. And between my wife, my girls, and Ambika, my assistant, I think I'm controlled by women. They tell me what I'm supposed to do every day, but that's not. It's not completely off the chart. I mean, to a certain extent, I'm completely dependent on Ambika to tell me what's my calendar, what do I need to be doing. Obviously, I make the decisions, but a good executive assistant is about taking ownership for what I have to do, and I think that's the point you're making too.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that you see some of the passion, that the commitment we make to both Anil and I to our executive assistants, because we know that the output can be fabulous, that it's such an productivity enhancement and also tool for effectiveness. If that synergy, that empathy, and of course all the competence and skills are there. I wish you a great conference. I wish you a conference with an enormous wow effect.